A pleasant and a blessed, wonderful good evening to one and all. I'm here at College Savannah, St. John once again. Looking to do a video with St. Mark's Anglican Church. So I'm here at College Savannah. Looking back towards Forty School. Forty School is in this direction. Forty School St. Philip. And you can see over to St. John with Coach Hill and College Land and Covington College and so on over here. My camera is working perfectly. So this is St. Mark's Anglican Church at College Savannah, St. John. This part of St. John is on the border between St. Philip. So right now I'm standing in St. Philip at Forty School. So this is a very tricky situation. We are between Forty School St. Philip and College Savannah St. John. College Savannah is on the border of St. Philip and St. John. We can see Covington College over here, the oldest theological institute in the Western Hemisphere. It is affiliated with the Anglican Church. That is where you go to study to become a priest in the Anglican Church. Here in the Caribbean, so all the priests from the West Indian diocese, whether it's Trinidad, Guyana, Jamaica, Antigua, St. Kitts, St. Lucia, Barbados, St. Vincent, this is where you go to become a priest. Even in the Bahamas, we have a lot of Bahamian priests here in Barbados as well. So you can see Covington College in St. John over here, and you can see Holy Cross Church up on top of the hill here at Society St. John. You can see the East Coast from here as well. My camera is working perfectly. I saw I didn't buy one of these before. Wasting money buying phones to get proper camera quality, and I have found the right one. I should have bought this one in the beginning, but God knows best. So this is the beautiful rustic countryside here in Barbados. All up in here is Bath Village in St. John. You can see all up in Bath Village and Coach Hill. You can see all up in the hills here. All up in Society, you can see Bath Village, Coach Hill, Covington College. That part of St. John over here. And this is the church cemetery down below here. So right now I'm to the east side of the island. As the people will always say, east side is the best side. This is the east coast here. You can see all up in the hills. So this is the beautiful parish of St. John over here. Where I am is a little bit of St. John. Over here is Greater St. John. Over here is Greater St. John. This is the church cemetery below here. So St. Mark's is a beautiful country church perched on top of a hill in the parish between St. Philip and St. John, but it is addressed as St. John. St. Mark's church address is St. John, but it touches a bit of St. Philip. Most of it touches St. Philip. So this is the St. Philip section I'm at now. This is the church hall here, the church hall. It says the stone was laid by the Reverend Canon William Beresford Brathwaite on the 2nd of March 1975, and he was the parish priest between 1950 and 1970. See the bus going back up the road. It says this building was dedicated by the Bishop Drexel Gomez, who was the diocesan bishop. It was dedicated on the 26th of June 1976. The renovation of this church hall was made possible through the combined efforts of St. Mark's congregation and the community, and it was rededicated as the Roy Thompson Memorial Center on this day, April 26, 2008, by the Lord Bishop of Barbados, the Right Reverend Dr. John Waldo Dunlop Holder, during the incumbency of the Reverend Ricardo Carter's nurse. This is the church yard here, this is the graveyard here. So, this is the St. Philip Martyr here. I'm on. And outside, let's overcast, so in case it's going to rain or something. So, this is St. Philip over here. It's raining across here in St. Philip. It's raining in St. Philip over here. So, this is the farthest school section. Farthest school on College Savannah over here. You can see all across by the lighthouse. East White Lighthouse. It's raining over there. So you can see all across the state of Papa Island. So this is St. Philip. We're headed towards the St. John border. So when I pass this wall here, then I will be in St. John. You can see a bit of the east coast from here, and the rain is not falling. East coast over here. So this is St. John now. St. Mark's Church is in St. John. St. John. So this church offers direct views of the east coast, as well as that of St. John Parish Church. So St. Mark's Church dates back to 1833. So this is the church bell here, the belfry. As always, you can see up in St. John. More of St. John from here. I wonder where the ranches will come out at this time now. Outside let's overcast. So this is an Anglican Episcopal church. It says the bell tower was partially refurbished through the contributions of the family of the late Vida E. McCarthy. And the bell tower was partially refurbished through the contributions from the Antrobus family. So St. Mark's Church here at College Savannah St. John, and overlooking the East Coast now. You can see Concept Bay and St. John from here. This is College Savannah St. John down below here. Concept Bay, which is a fishing village, and all down to Bath Beach you can see. So this is the East Coast, entirely east. You can see all across to St. John, St. Joseph and St. Andrew. All up in the hills. The eastern, this is northeastern, you know. You can see Martin's Bay, which is in St. John as well. So it's raining in St. John now too. You can see Martin's Bay, St. John, which is a fishing village as well. And Bath Beach down below here, and Concept Bay, which is another fishing village, nestled beneath St. Mark's Church. It says the vestry was consecrated on April 25th, 1972. So this is St. John over here. All the rugged East Coast. This is the Atlantic side of the island. The Atlantic Ocean over here. Atlantic Ocean. You can even see the sleeping giant at Chalky Mount St. Andrew. And this is St. Philip now. Lighthouse, the Ragged Point Lighthouse, you can see. The East Point Lighthouse is over here. So the rain in St. Philip has eased up. Some more of the Chile Cemetery. So we are bordered with St. Philip and St. John, which is the easternmost parishes, especially St. John. And St. Philip is the flattest parish in Barbados. A parish that is said to have no hills or less hills. St. Philip is not all that flat though. It still has a few hills in it, not as much like how St. Andrew and St. Joseph has a lot of hills, but they still have a few hills in this parish here. St. Philip is the biggest parish too. All up in the lush green hills. Over here St. Andrew too, you can see St. Andrew, which is known as the Scotland District. So as I said before, this is the Atlantic side. Barbados borders the Atlantic Ocean and the Caribbean Sea. Yo, thanks for watching, guys. Have a blessed evening, a blessed afternoon. Stay tuned for more videos of Barbados.